I hope you are interested to go to South Korea and you've checked online scholarship in South Korea. And Global Korea Scholarship Program is the first scholarship that comes out in your browser in whichever social media account you're using. And actually, you're lucky because in this video, I'll be explaining to you what Global Career Scholarship Program, expected number of students to be included, the scholarship coverage and benefits, the required documents, additional documents, the timeline, the tracks, the online application, and how to prepare. And in this video, I'll try to condense it as much as possible. And this is your guide for a fully funded Global Career Scholarship Program here in South Korea for 2026. Welcome, this is Justin. I got the scholarship back in 2021 for my graduate studies at Hanning University. I did my master's there for business administration. And in 2024, I graduated and completed my degree. And now I'm working here in South Korea. So for almost 2 years, I've been working as a employee, but my roots here in South Korea started as a student. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you the scholarship that brought me to South Korea, the Global Career Scholarship Program. So let's start. The Global Career Scholarship Program is a premium government scholarship program managed by the National Institute for International Education, commonly known as NIED, under the Korean Ministry of Education. So, with the sole purpose of inviting international students to study in South Korea. So, you can do undergraduates, which usually occur on September, and then the graduate studies, which is for master's and PhD, which are going to be opened probably next week or first week of February. And again, the goal is to foster international exchange and mutual friendship. But that's the most important thing. It's actually one of the most generous scholarships because again, it's fully funded, tuition fee, allowance, living expenses, and there's a mandatory language learning program. That's the most important. To be honest, that's very exciting. To be able to study in Korea, to learn the Korean language for a year and hopefully master it, it's actually a blessing because you'll be able to work here in South Korea if you have that Korean language proficiency. So it's very important. And then expected number of intake, it's actually 1,300 students. So split among different countries and there's specific tracks. I'll be discussing the tracks later, but for now, let's stick with the 1,300 students. So what's the coverage? So it includes airfare. So the plane that will take you from your home country to South Korea, it's paid. The tuition fee from their Korean language training classes, settlement allowance of 200,000 Korean one time, monthly allowance around 750 800 USD monthly given. There's also mandatory standard medical insurance for the Korean government. And then as I mentioned, you will be able to get more benefits as you increase your language proficiency. There's also research support. For example, you need to publish some thesis and such. And there's a 100,000 Korean won completion grant. One time, once you have graduated and decided to go back home. But these monetary benefits are minuscule compared to the opportunities that you'll be able to get here in South Korea once you have been selected and you started your journey here in South Korea. So before going on the other parts of the scholarship, I'll now start with the requirements. These are the only required documents. To be honest, if you have these, you can actually apply already. One, the application form, which can be downloaded once the application season started. The personal statement and study plan, the essays. These are the things that you have to write, explaining your motivation, how you're going to be studying, what are the things that you want to study. And then there's one letter of recommendation. Your personal medical assessment is also included, the GKS agreement, and then proof of citizenship. Your parents and your citizenship should be explained. And then of course, your bachelor's degree completion, master's degree completion, certificate of completion, and then your grades. So those are things that are required. Again, let's summarize: application form, personal statement, study plan, letter of recommendation, um, application agreement, personal medical assessment. Sixth, number seventh, proof of citizenship. Eighth, certificate of graduation. Ninth, academic transcript. And you're probably wondering, Justin, they don't have any language proficiency exam, Korean language proficiency exam, because it's not even required. So those are the only required documents. But let's now go to the additional documents that can give you the competitive advantage. Topic, which is test of proficiency in Korean, or IELTS, TOEFL for the English proficiency. These are very important if you want to get the competitive advantage. Again, your awards and certificates, the things that you've done in your high school, college, or currently doing, there should be evidence, be it form of a certificate, but if you don't have certificates, pictures, and then explanation. And again, if you don't want to submit a postal document for your proof of citizenship, you can actually photocopy your passport. That's also possible. And now let's go to the timeline. So, for the Global Career Scholarship Program, timing is the most important thing. You really need to time your preparation well. You cannot apply for the undergraduate studies this coming Feb because this is for the graduate studies, vice versa. So again, for Feb, the announcement of the Global Career Scholarship Program will happen, especially for the Masters in PhD. And then Embassy track will usually finish even before March. So the whole duration of February, that's the embassy track. For the university track, that's usually for a different timeline. And then by May, NIED will be announcing their second round of passers. By June, third round of passers, and then the last announcement will be on the last week of June. And then if you are selected and luckily get their slot, you'll be able to enter to South Korea on August 2026. I know you've been hearing a lot about the tracks, right? Well, the tracks will differentiate your route to the Global Career Scholarship Program. There are two tracks available, embassy track and the university track. And to be honest, it's so simple to differentiate the two. Embassy track, you apply, go to the embassy route, and university track, you go to the university route. But there are key differences. Embassy track, you can select three universities. And then the restriction is you must choose at least one type B university, probably a regional university if you want to apply for the embassy track. And then usually you get higher chance to pass if you are selected by the Korean embassy because you have three choices. The university track, however, has a different field. It's usually you will send your application directly to one university, and then the benefit of that is it's actually a faster process in a sense. If the university accepted you, your documents will be sent to the Korean to NIED, to Ministry of Education, and then the NIED will assess among all the university track passers. Let's select probably 600, 700, 800 students. But if you are rejected, this is the risk. You cannot apply to the embassy track because again, the embassy track deadline has already passed. Once the university track results come out, so that's actually the advantage for the embassy track. If you fail the embassy track, you can try applying to the university track. It might sound very confusing now, but if you can go back to I try to provide timestamps in order for you to check and understand more. So now, this is the thing I'm suspecting that's going to happen for the Global Career Scholarship Program 2026 graduate studies. It's going to be an online application. Since time immemorial, it's an offline application, meaning you submit the hard copies of the documents. But now they're shifting. Recently, NID has been transitioning to an online application system using the studyinkorea.go.kr. This is the official website of NIED for anything educational related. GKS related, non GKS related. So here's the procedure. Usually, you'll still have to submit hard copies of the documents, regardless of the track. So it's not 100% online. The online part is for the round one. You don't need to submit your documents, the hard copies, to embassy or to the university through a courier. Just use the studyinkorea.go.kr. So for example, you have the documents scanned. You have to submit them through the online platform. Still, the track stands. So there's a university track and embassy track. You'll be able to select them in the website. And I'll share more tips and guide once the official announcement has been published. So let's now go to the tips. Probably you're here aware about the scholarship already, but finding ways on how you'll be able to get the scholarship. And this is somehow the things I can provide you for now. These are the things that worked for me and worked for some people that I have helped. And this could actually help you get the scholarship this coming 2026. One, the apostle. It's not apostle, it's apostle, consular confirmation. Your transcript of records, certificate of graduation, and your proof of citizenship should be apostilled or confirmed by the consular office. I cannot really provide specifics about the apostle process because it varies per country, and you just have to do your own research on that. Just research how to apostle document in my country. Very easy. Second tip is to make sure that your GPA is aligned with what is required by the Korean government system. In Korea, they use 4.0, 4.3, 4.5, or 5.0 scale. Even the percentile, like 100% grade, works. If your grade is not according to that specific standard, you have to align and convert your grade. To be honest, the easiest is the percentile because it's straightforward. 80% out of 100, that's 80% out of 100. No need to convert further. Third tip, and also the thing that you can do, is secure the language proficiency exams. As I have been mentioning, those are not required documents. But if you have them, that's your competitive advantage. Let's go to the fourth tip. If you want to study South Korea, especially for PhD, or you're trying to study something related to sciences, technology, engineering, and mathematics that would require you to have mentors or professors, you really need to contact professors. And I'll try to make a separate video on how to effectively contact professors. But to be honest, it's just simple email. But of course, there are strategies that you can do to effectively secure support from these professors. And the fifth would be the hardest thing to do is to prepare your essays. There are key questions for the personal statement and study plan, but here are the things that you really have to explain. One, for the personal statement, is why do you want to study in Korea? There are 100 plus countries in the world. Why South Korea? Two, why do you want to study your specific major? Is there a reason why you want to study business or engineering or arts? Three, why your selected school? Why you want to study in Seoul National? Why you want to study in Korea University, in Busan, in Jeju? These things are very important. You really need to explain them. Fourth, how will you be able to contribute to your home country and to Korea's relationship once you have secured the scholarship? That's also very important. They never explain that in the guidelines, but that's one thing they really look forward to learn from your steps, from your plans. I think I add one more for this. How will you be able to survive and complete the program? This is specifically for the study plan. This scholarship is not just a scholarship. In my previous videos, I explained that this scholarship is actually an investment. And if I am an investor, I mean, let's say I'm the NIED. If I am the investor, I want to know how you'll be managing the money that I'll give you. The money, in a sense, is more of how you'll be able to manage and secure and complete the scholarship program. How will you study? What are the things that you want to study? Are you going to study every day? Are you study every week? Or how are you going to be able to prepare for the topic exam? How you'll be able to defend your thesis? These things are the things that I want to know. What will you do from day zero once you stepped on this country up until your graduation? These are very important points that you have to explain. That specifically is applicable. That step should be reflected in your study plan. Because again, when NID, if they select people, they want to be sure. Because I'll be honest with you, there are instances wherein students drop out of the scholarship program. They won't complete it. And thinking about it, those slots could have gone to some people who failed to get the scholarship but could have successfully completed the scholarship program if they were selected, but unfortunately not. That's the reason why I want to make sure that you will write that specific step. What will you do from day zero to day 1000 once you have received the scholarship program? And again, it's not enough that you'll say, I'll study hard, I'll keep my mind strong, blah, 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 I'll fight against homesickness. You really need to explain your steps. You're planning to create groups here in South Korea or find your people, your countrymen. These things should be indicated in your study plan. Because again, it is a plan after all. It should be smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound, very smart planning. If you want more tips and tricks on how to be able to prepare for your Global Career Scholarship Program, I guess my channel is perfect for you. You can browse a lot of contents. I've been making these contents as early as 2021 once I arrived here in South Korea. And I've shared a lot of tips. I even shared my own personal statement and study plan. Of course, you don't need to copy them, and you cannot copy them because probably the NID, they have records of all the documents. But again, those are my stories. Personal statement and study plan should be your own personal story. Follow the guide, follow the tricks, follow the tips, the structure, but write your own. You have your own story. They want to see that. And if you want more GKS related content, just comment in the comment section anything that you want to ask, things that make it difficult for you to get the scholarship. And let's talk there. Till next video. Bye bye.